Hello everyone, our is the group 4. So today we're gonna talk about the company of the medallion milk powder. Our country is in Indonesia and Pakistan. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about the company and the product. So this company is a well-known family from farm company. It's located at Winnipeg in Canada. The products, we have three types of the milk powder. First one is the whole milk powder, and the second one is the skim milk powder, and we also have the partly skim milk powder. So this milk powder is the fresh milk from the grassland province to evaporate milk liquids, and it shows the low temperature, dehydration, and drying processes. It is the real crystalline powder, and it can keep calcium, protein, and vitamins B12 intact. So why we choose this product? Because the Canada is the representative for this milk powder. So the following, my group member will talk about the target market and many aspects to show this production.
Hi, I'm going to compare two target countries from physical factors. As you can see, Indonesia is more far away from Canada, and goods need a lot of time for transportation. More important thing is our product must be stored in a cold and dry place. In order to ensure the quantity of our product, it's necessary to ship by air. The airline is closed for Pakistan to Canada because of the war. So Indonesia is the largest archipelagic country in the world, which means all of cities are around the ocean and rivers. So it's conducive to spread of our product in Indonesia. Compared to the Indonesia, Pakistan has a complex landscape. Under the condition of underdeveloped transportations and the complex terrain, it's difficult for our product to fully integrate into the local market. So because of the weather and temperature for both countries, our goods cannot transport directly. Special truck must be used. Then Canada has good relations with Pakistan and Indonesia. However, Pakistan is a war-ridden country with a low GDP per capita. So milk powder is a luxury product for people in both countries. So Indonesia demand for Canadian dairy product is falling because between 2013 and 2017, the proportion of milk powder imported by Indonesia from Canada is negative. The Pakistan's demand for Canadian dairy product is growing. The government of Canada and Pakistan allow trade this kind of goods until 2017.
So for the government prices affecting business, for the inflations, Indonesia experienced inflations of 0.55% with the customer price index, which called CPI, of 138.16 in June 2019. And in the long term of the Pakistan, inflation rate is projected to reach around 6% in 2020, according to our economic trade model. And for the interest rate in the Indonesia average 7.2% from 2005 until 2019. The State Bank of Pakistan holds its benchmark interest rate at 13.25%. And for the import trade, lives for most daily products from the EU and the United States are now around 5%. Additional value-added tax of 10% is applied for the import. Pakistan is increased its effective import tariff on import of milk powder and wheat powder from 20 to 45% with impositive of the 12% regulatory duties. For the profit, the Indonesia government, however, has a right to defer the repatriation of the profit if the importer has any unsafe legal limits in Indonesia. Pakistan has a very liberal frugal exchange regimes and always 100% repetitions of the profit and dividend.
In next part, I'm going to talk about the government's attitude to international trade. For Indonesia, Indonesia provides at least MFN treatment to all WTO members. In order to improve trade and investment policies, Indonesia has enacted new laws related to investment, exporting financing, special economic zones, as well as in agriculture, fisheries, shipping, mineral and coal mining, and tourism. And Indonesia is a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So the duty could be low due to MFN treatment. For Pakistan, Pakistan has bilateral and multilateral trade agreements with many nations and international organizations. Pakistan is a member of the World Trade Organization, part of the South Asian Free Trade Area Agreement, and China to Pakistan Free Trade Agreement. And next part, I'm going to talk about the government stability. For Indonesia, Indonesia is the world's third largest democracy, and Indonesia is the largest economy in Southeast Asia, and the only member of ASEAN in the G20. And Indonesia is a role model for a successful political transition. Indonesia is stable politically and has a presidential system of democracy. So Indonesia has a stable political system and ventures, and we need not worry about the drastic policy change. And for the Pakistan, since the emergence of Pakistan as an interdependent state, the country has been suffering many instances of political instability. And over 60 years have passed since interdependence. The country has not been able to overcome its constant struggle with civil unrest. And every time a new government is sworn into office, they discontinue all previous establishment and dissolve existing policy.
So for my part, I can discuss the federal government program focused on the target markets. First, both Indonesia and Pakistan has access to CAN Export SMES that can provide both the funding and advising service for the investor. Both the target countries also have trade commissioner service with sole aim of fostering Canadian economic interests abroad. Indonesia also activates the Canada-Indonesia Trade and Preference Center Assistance, a program that can fund by the federal government and which aims to promote sustainability economic growth in Indonesia through trade and investment between Indonesia and Canada. For the country profiles, Indonesia population is more than 264 million people compared to Pakistan that currently has 197 million. Indonesia's GDP is severe with over 1.22 trillion, compared to Pakistan's 312.57 billion in 2018. However, Indonesia's recent population growth rate is lower at 1.12% compared to Pakistan 2%. For the analysis of target market potential, both target country and the relevant popular ranked fourth and sixth globally. That large population means their immeasured potential for the sale of pounder milk products in that country, and which makes them stable target for our product. Indonesia is better market compared to Pakistan. First, Indonesia supplier is highly dependent on the imports. For instance, research found up to 74% of the dairy product consumed in Indonesia are imported. On the other hand, Pakistan is mere producer with over 70% locally product. That means that we are easily for our product to enter Indonesia market compared to Pakistan. In addition, recent policy on the dairy industry in Pakistan has been aimed at regulating importation for dairy product while promoting local product.
Let's talk about market analysis. First, in Indonesia, demand for dairy product in Indonesia has increased in recent years, and the Indonesia milk market is in short supply. Indonesia may need to import more dairy products in the future. The quality of Medallion milk powder is higher than local milk powder, so the price is also higher than local milk powder. In Pakistan, there is an increasing demand in Pakistan for safe, high-quality food with a long shelf life. Medallion milk powder keeps the nutrition of milk and conforms to the requirements for higher quality food in Pakistan. The price of local milk powder is much lower than Medallion. It may need to reduce the price to export to Pakistan, which for sure will have an impact on profits. Next is customer preference and strength of demand. Indonesia's demand for dairy products has increased by 10% in the past 10 years. Milk and milk powder are becoming more and more popular. Under the pressure for commercial competition, we need to improve the quality of product and service. And in Pakistan, 62% of Pakistan's milk is buffalo milk because of the low cholesterol content. And if the new product want to enter the Pakistan market, they need to reduce the price and increase the demand for products and service.
So now I'm going to talk about competitive barrier to entry. For Indonesia, 4 major products in Indonesia. First, Nestle. Second, Indomilk. Third, Mellow Milk. 4, Baby Milk. And as of 2017, the 4 main companies which target in the market. First, Nestle has 26.7% of the market share. 2, Royal Franklin Company has 26.2%. Third, Funeral Co-operative Group 20%. 4, Indomilk 6.7%. And for the Pakistan, four major products in Pakistan. First, in needle 80%, and the second, Mekana dairy, and the third, BC, Indonesia, Pakistan. Four, Premier Delhi, and Pakistan. Nestle has 80% of country's market share and is most trusted brand in Pakistan. Other competitors are relatively small, and the next three largest competitors only account for just over 10% of the market share. And regulatory barrier to entry for Indonesia, health and safety as well as labeling regulations apply to the importation and sale of powdered milk products, and product labels must be in the Indonesian language and must not contain untrustful claims. For the Pakistan, writing the certification of healthy and safety from the orientating country must accompany importing food products. Also, food must come from certified disease-free area. And last, instruction and nutrition information are required in both Urdu and English.
The target customer for our product is our middle and upper class, children to adult. Is all could be our target customer. There are current about 74 million middle class in Indonesia, which will doubled by 2020 to 141 millions. In Indonesia, the required income of the middle and upper class family is 30,000 USD per year. That can call it middle class. According to the World Bank data in Indonesia, about 141 million middle class, their disposable income is between 400 to 800 a month. This money can make them purchase the high grade food product and buy the gyms membership, frequent coffee shop, and in some case travel overseas. There also 10 million families have an annual disposable income over 10,000 USD dollars. For the Pakistan, the target market and the customer is also middle class. There's 61 million people in Pakistan is middle class, and the middle class family in Pakistan is at least 50,000 Pakistan dollars per month, and the average of the disposable income is 2,000 USD dollars per year. And Pakistan is a country who very value the foods and a service fund. According to the report by U.S. Department of Economic Research Service, which is 86 countries were surveyed. Pakistan spent more than a half income for their foods, and in Pakistan the in Pakistan's family, the disposable service is 800 US dollar, and amongst the foods will cost them $400. So which means our product is very useful for the Pakistan market.
Next, I will talk about commercial infrastructure. First, I will talk about Indonesia. The first point is Indonesia needs to be given a legal ground in order to accelerate more of the national development compass as a mental effort based on the principle of family spirit. The second point is under Indonesia law, both public and private companies must comply with accounting standards issued. The third point is Indonesia's medium-term outlook for the information and communication technology.
which is ICT sector, is positive. The fourth, Indonesia's road network takes on the bulk for land transportation of both people and goods at almost 90% and 70% respectively, making it the main focus of transport budget spending. The fifth is the media of Indonesia consists of several different types of communication media. It includes television, radio, cinema, newspapers, magazines, and internet-based websites. The last point is Indonesia is stable and growing, but it's still in some ways the wildest, especially when it comes to channel management. Next, I will talk about the Pakistan. So the first point is in Pakistan, obtaining permission or a license for the relevant government body and fulfilling the requirement of the relevant sector laws or investment policy are commercial law. The second is the road network in Pakistan carries over 96% of inland freight and 92% of passenger traffic, and are undoubtedly the backbone of the economy. The third is Pakistan has a vibrant media landscape. Media in Pakistan provides information on television, radio, cinema, newspapers, and magazines. The fourth point is Karachi is the major distribution center for wholesale goods. The last point is Pakistan's banking sector consists of commercial banks, foreign banks, Islamic banks, development financial institutions, which is DFIs, and the microfinancial banks. Presently, there are 26 commercial banks, 6 DFIs, and 11 microfinance banks operating in the country. In the last part, I will talk about political characteristics and stability for these two countries. For Indonesia, Indonesia is now a vibrant democracy. The political situation is now without its risks. Political noise toward greater protections are regular occurs that often result in overlapping regulation, which creates investor uncertainty. For Pakistan, Pakistan is moving closer to become a liberty democracy. The government consists of 3 branches, which is executive, legislative, and judicial. The politics of Pakistan takes place within a framework established by the constitution.
So for our sorting mode, compare all of critical, I think Indonesia is a better market to enter than Pakistan. Compare the culture, they are Muslim country. So they got 8. And compare the demand for the importation. Indonesia has more demand for the importation. And compare the GDP. Indonesia has better GDP than Pakistan, and population Pakistan win. Cooperation between Canada and country. Indonesia has a special organization to solve the problem between Canada business. So Indonesia has better score for the Pakistan. So Indonesia is a better choice for our product.